The world of hip-hop is in shock as 7 new lawsuits have been filed against Sean Diddy Combs. Once a towering figure in the music industry, Diddy is now facing deeply disturbing allegations that have left fans and critics reeling. These new claims span years and cities, involving serious accusations of sexual assault and misconduct that could alter the legacy of one of the biggest names in entertainment. But what really happened at these infamous parties that now lie at the center of these lawsuits? Stay tuned as we dive into the horrifying details of the new allegations, the escalating legal troubles Diddy now faces, and the possible downfall of a music mogul who once seemed untouchable. 7 new lawsuits against Diddy. 7 civil lawsuits have just been filed against Sean Diddy Combs, accusing him of sexual assault at various parties in New York, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas. These lawsuits include allegations from 4 men and 3 women, all detailing disturbing claims that range from drugging to rape. Most shockingly, one plaintiff was just 13 years old at the time of the alleged incident. These lawsuits come at a time when Diddy is already in deep legal trouble. He's facing separate federal charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, which could lead to a life sentence if he's convicted. The hip-hop mogul, who once dominated the industry, now finds himself facing a potential future behind bars. The dark allegations. The details in these new lawsuits paint a horrifying picture. Several plaintiffs claim that Diddy, or people acting on his behalf, spiked their drinks at parties. These drinks allegedly caused the victims to feel disoriented, dizzy, and out of their bodies. The accusations are both varied and alarming. One plaintiff, an independent artist, claims she woke up in extreme pain after being drugged and raped at one of Diddy's parties. Another recounts how she woke up naked in his hotel room with no memory of what had happened, while he casually spoke on the phone nearby. Perhaps the most shocking claim comes from a lawsuit alleging that Diddy and another unnamed male celebrity raped a 13-year-old girl after a 2000 VMAs after-party. Other lawsuits involve men being sexually assaulted, with claims that Diddy forcibly groped them or performed non-consensual sexual acts. These allegations have rocked the entertainment industry, as Diddy's influence and power have kept many of these accusations in the shadows for years. Now they are all coming to light, and the lawsuits keep piling up. Federal charges and criminal allegations. Diddy's legal woes don't stop at these 7 new civil suits. He's also facing federal charges, including sex trafficking, racketeering, and other serious crimes. These charges allege that Diddy ran a criminal enterprise that systematically abused and exploited women. According to prosecutors, Diddy used intimidation, manipulation, and violence to control his victims and force them into situations where they were sexually exploited. These allegations extend beyond Diddy himself and implicate his entire business empire. Various lawsuits claim that his enterprises helped fund and facilitate these abusive behaviors, both inside and outside the music industry. In particular, they highlight how he allegedly used his power to manipulate people and maintain a circle of silence around his actions. If convicted of the federal charges, Diddy could face life in prison. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges, and despite multiple attempts, has been denied bail. The $50 million bail package, a last-ditch effort. Diddy's legal team proposed a $50 million bail arrangement that seemed almost impossible to refuse. The offer included his $48 million Miami estate, his private plane, and his agreement to home detention, regular drug testing, and surrendering his passport. His family, including his mother, signed on in support, showing their desperation to get him out of jail. Yet, despite offering what appeared to be an airtight deal, the judge quickly dismissed it. The court wasn't only looking at the massive sum Diddy could offer. They were focused on the greater risks, including his influence, past behavior, and the potential for him to interfere with the judicial process. Diddy's troubled past, a risk too significant. A key reason the judge rejected Diddy's bail was his concerning history. Prosecutors presented text messages and incidents from his past, portraying him as someone with a troubling behavioral pattern. In one instance, after a 2016 altercation with his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, Diddy allegedly paid $50,000 to a hotel to erase security footage showing him throwing glass objects at her. This raised red flags in the court, revealing Diddy's willingness to tamper with evidence and manipulate situations. The prosecution made a compelling case that Diddy could easily use his wealth and connections to obstruct justice, intimidate witnesses, or even flee the country. They pointed to other cases, such as Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein, both of whom were denied bail despite offering millions. The court wasn't willing to take a risk with Diddy either. The collapse, Diddy's moment of realization. Upon hearing the judge's decision to deny his bail, Diddy's reaction was swift and dramatic. He collapsed in the courtroom, overwhelmed by the outcome. Witnesses described how his confident demeanor quickly transformed into one of utter despair. He visibly shook, and it seemed as if he might faint, prompting court officials to summon medical assistance. For someone who had lived in luxury for so long, the realization that he might be facing prolonged jail time, perhaps for the rest of his life, was too much to bear. His collapse was not just physical. It symbolized the fall of a man who had always appeared untouchable. The stark reality of jail, from mansions to isolation. Diddy is now held in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, MDC, one of the most infamous jails in the United States. A far cry from his luxurious homes, he now occupies a small, grimy cell, isolated from the world outside. The MDC has a notorious reputation for overcrowding, poor sanitation, and harsh living conditions. Inmates frequently deal with freezing cold in the winter, intense heat in the summer, and routine power failures. His situation is made worse by his celebrity status. For his safety, he has been placed in solitary confinement, locked in a small 6x9 foot cell for 23 hours a day with no human contact. Solitary confinement can take a severe toll on a person's mental health, often leading to intense anxiety, depression, and, in extreme cases, hallucinations. For someone like Diddy, accustomed to constant luxury and attention, the isolation must be unbearable. Hey, Golden Throwback fans, ready to take a trip down memory lane? Perfect Fifth has you covered with graphic tees that celebrate the music you love. Check out this cassette-era design, a tribute to those mixtape days. Or vibe with melting vinyl sunset, bringing back the golden age of records. And, for the patriots, stars, stripes, and strings, combines music and Americana in a style all your own. Get it for yourself or as the perfect gift for the music lover in your life. And right now, get 30% off your order with code THROWBACK30 at checkout. Click the link in the description to shop now. Perfect Fifth, wear the rhythm, relive the moments. Diddy's legal woes. Is this the end? The charges against Diddy are grave enough to land him in prison for life. He stands accused of leading a criminal operation, using his businesses and staff to enable illegal activities. According to the indictment, these actions have been going on for years, with Diddy allegedly leveraging his power to control others and hide unlawful behavior. Perhaps the most damning evidence against him is the accusation that he used his influence to intimidate witnesses and interfere with evidence. Prosecutors argue this isn't just an isolated incident. Diddy's entire empire was built to shield him from accountability. Many of his employees, from security personnel to personal assistants, are said to have played roles in covering up his illegal conduct. The collapse of Diddy's empire. What's next? Diddy has weathered numerous scandals throughout his career, but this time feels different. His wealth and power may not be enough to save him from the legal consequences he now faces. His collapse in court was more than just a reaction to the bail denial. It was a signal that Diddy may recognize his world is falling apart, and he may not be able to restore it this time. As the case progresses, both the music industry and the public are watching closely. Some of his peers have expressed their support, while others have remained silent, uncertain whether this marks the end of an era for the hip-hop mogul. Diddy's collapse serves as a reminder that no matter how influential someone may be, they are not immune from facing the consequences of their actions. Diddy's collapse in court was a shocking and symbolic moment that could signify the downfall of one of the music industry's most influential figures. His life, once filled with unimaginable luxury and power, now faces a stark contrast in the form of jail cells and legal battles. The rejection of his $50 million bail package is just the first step in what could be a long and difficult journey ahead. As this case continues to unfold, Diddy's future remains uncertain. Will he once again find a way to avoid the consequences? Or is this truly the end of the empire he spent years building? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear. Diddy's collapse is a stark cautionary tale about power, privilege, and the fact that no one is beyond the reach of justice.